this formulation of finite element equation for structural problem. Okay. Now we have taken this structural member subject to forces. Our aim is to write the finite element equation for this one. Okay. Now first step is meshing or discretization. In that we have taken this one dimensional element because we have assumed area of this structural member is small as compared to its axial dimension or its length. That means one dimension is big as compared to other two dimensions. That's why we have taken only one dimensional element. Okay. After that, second step in finite element method is, what is second step? To write the interpolation polynomial or select the interpolation polynomial. Here we have two noded element I and j. Therefore, we have taken the linear interpolation polynomial u is equal to a plus bx. A and b are these are known as unknown constants, or these are unknown constants. These are known as generalized coordinates. Okay, these unknown constants we have to calculate. Otherwise, we cannot get the value of this field variable displacement at any location on the element. For calculation of this, we have used the equations for nodes ui and uj. Now, here we have written this equation ui is equal to b plus xi for node I, uj equal to the a plus bxj for node j. Now these two equations we have solved simultaneously for a and b, and from that we have calculated a and b, that is solving these above two equations for a and b. Here a is equal to ui xj minus uj xi divided by l. L is the length of element, that is your xj minus xi. B is uj minus ui divided by l. That values you will get. Okay. After that, we are putting these values of a and b in the equation of interpolation polynomial, that is u is equal to a plus bx. Now here you will get u is equal to, this is a, this is b, x. Next, this equation we have written in this form, that is simple manipulation. Now you see here for ui, xj is a coefficient here, and here x is a coefficient. So I have written xj minus x divided by l into ui plus x minus xi divided by l into uj. Okay. After writing this, we have assumed this as a shape function ni, this as a shape function nj. Means here this is same equation. For same equation, I have written here ni ui plus nj uj. What is ni ui? And sorry, what is ni? Ni is a shape function. Nj is also shape function. Now these are the shape functions. Ni is equal to xj minus x upon l. Nj equal to the x minus xi upon l. Now we have seen some properties of this ni and nj, that their value at their own nodes equal to 1, and at other nodes it is equal to 0, and addition of shape functions at any location is 1, that we have discussed. Okay. After that we have started the derivation of elemental stiffness matrix. Now for elemental stiffness matrix, we have used the principle of minimum potential energy. Now principle of minimum potential energy is stating like this, that is when structure is loaded and it attains the equilibrium position, then potential energy of the structure is minimum. Okay. Now we have written the equation for the potential energy, and that equation is strain energy plus work done by external loads. Okay. Now this I have used the notation I for the potential energy, pi for the strain energy, and w for the work done by external forces. Okay. Now this is pi plus w. Now you have to remember one thing, that is here pi, it is a strain energy, it is developed because of the internal resistance, and w is the work done by external loads. These two things are in opposite direction, though here sign is positive, but one is in positive direction, one is in negative direction. this sign will be changed when we proceed for the next calculations. Okay, now that we will discuss. Now we have taken this strain energy density. Okay, strain energy density, half of stress into strain is equal to this one. Stress I have used the sigma notation and epsilon I have used the for strain notation. Okay, now total strain energy is integration over the volume, now this integration is written in terms of the length integration because we have assumed a constant area. Okay, therefore dv is replaced by dx and limits of integration are xi to xj. Now we have calculated this integration here. Before calculation, stress is replaced by modulus of velocity into strain. Okay, now this equation becomes half modulus of velocity into strain square into a dx. Next, here this is the equation, half modulus of velocity into strain square into a dx. A and e we can take out of the integration and half also we can take out of the integration because these are the constants. Okay, this is a constant a by 2 strain square. Okay, and strain we can write as a du by dx uj minus ui divided by xj minus xi, that is uj minus ui divided by L. Okay, now this equation uj and ui, these are the nodal displacements. Okay, and strain square, it is a uj minus ui divided by L, it's a whole square. Okay, so uj and ui and length is, these are also constant, only variable is dx. Okay, now this also we have taken out of the integration, that is uj minus ui square. Okay, dx, and here length of the integration of the dx is x, and when we put the limits it becomes xj minus xi, and that will be replaced by L. Now up to here I think I have covered. Am I right? Up to here I have covered. If you have doubt, yes.
Sir, uj minus ui constant है क्या?
uj is the specific displacement at node I. uj, and ui is the specific displacement at node I. It is not here constant means, here variable means what? It should be function of x. Na? U is function of x, but ui is the displacement at specific location. uj is the displacement at specific location. Okay, do you agree with this? Your u is variable, but ui and uj are not variables. Okay, any doubt again?
No.
Next one. Now this also I have shown you. This we can replace by quadratic form of the matrix. That means this quadratic equation uj minus ui square, it becomes ui square minus 2 ui uj plus uj square. That we can write in the matrix form, or we can write in the quadratic form of the matrix. So you will get ae by 2l as it is. This is a ui uj, that is a transpose of u. This is a k matrix, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, that we have solved. Actually it is not k, it is a constant matrix, we can say it is constant matrix, and this is the u matrix. Okay, in what I will do next, I will multiply by this ae by l to this matrix, that square matrix. It becomes ui uj, half is there, ui uj into ae by l minus ae by l minus ae by l ae by l ui uj. Okay, and that equation I will write in short, that is half of u transpose is ui uj, k is the ae by l minus ae by l minus ae by l ae by l, or ae by l into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and this is u matrix. Up to here we have derived, and we have, this is a k matrix and it is a stiffness matrix. Already I have explained the concept of the stiffness matrix, why it is called as a stiffness matrix, because it is a force per unit displacement, or force required for unit displacement. Okay, therefore it is called as a stiffness matrix, and u is your displacement matrix, and it is ui uj. This is square matrix, and this is a column matrix. Okay, and it depends upon the number of nodes. You have here 2 nodes, therefore we have two displacements ui and uj, two nodes, and each node is having 1 degree of freedom, therefore it is a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, now that we will come later. Now work done by the external forces. If you have doubt in the strain energy, you can ask me. Any doubt in the strain energy equation? Here you have strain energy equation is here, this one, or this one you can take, or you can take this one, 9, this equation, and 10. If you have doubt in any of these equation, you can ask me. If you don't have any doubt, you can say no. Yes, Abhishek Sutar, have you doubt? Abhishek Sutar काय डाऊट आहे का? ओके, अक्षय डू वॉन्ट टू स्पीक?
सर ते एल स्क्वेअर कुठे जातो विचारत होतं.
L square. L square, how I have removed this L square, I will show you. See here, if we take the integration of this one, it becomes xj minus xi. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, xj minus xi is the length of element. Okay, means this integration term, this integration term is equal to L. Okay, this equal to L.
Okay.
This L will be cancelled with this one.
L
Okay.
square.
Okay.
Yes.
Now next one. Now next we have to go for work done by the externally applied load. Work done is just a force into displacement. Now if we take this image, this is the element. Again here you have forces. Am I right? Here is one force, that is Fj, we can say. Here is one force. It may be in this direction or it may be in this direction, whatever it may be. This is your Fi and this is your Fj according to our problem definition. It may be any direction. Okay. Now this is Fi and this is Fj. These are the two forces, and under these forces your node I is displacing with ui displacement. Node j is displacing with uj displacement. Therefore, work done because of this Fi is a force into displacement. It is Fi into ui. Work done because of this force Fj, it is a Fj into uj. Okay. Now this becomes, or your work done becomes W is equal to ui Fi, it is a force into displacement, plus uj Fj, it is also force into displacement, and this I have written in the form of matrix, that is U transpose into Fi Fj. You can see here U transpose is ui uj into Fi Fj. That is, if you write this in matrix form, you will get here ui, next uj, this is one matrix, and this is your force matrix. Okay, this is your displacement matrix and this is your force matrix, and you will get this work done is equal to ui Fi plus uj Fj, that is equal to the U transpose into F. Have you got it? It is simple, just simple one here. Okay. After writing this one, we will write the potential energy equation. What is the potential energy equation? Can anyone tell what is the potential energy equation? Akshay Shinde.
Hello, sir.
What
Hello.
is potential energy equation? Here I have written the statement. No? You can see here. This one, strain energy plus work done.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
right? Strain energy plus work done. Strain energy is, here we have strain energy equation. This one is a strain energy equation, and this one is work done equation. Okay, but these two terms are acting in opposite direction. So if I take the strain energy positive, this work done I should take
sir.
the yes.
सर
Yes.
ते यू ट्रान्सपोज आहे ना सर ते रो मॅट्रिक्स आहे का कॉलम मॅट्रिक्स आहे कसं ओळखायचं
U
तिथं
yes, I will explain. U matrix is a standard matrix. You can see here. I have written here discussed matrix U. It is actually it is a column matrix. Okay, I agree with this. But
हा, sir.
when we take the transpose of that, it becomes row matrix. Okay, it is a standard one. Here U matrix is always column matrix, and force matrix is also always column matrix. Okay, and stiffness matrix is always square matrix. You have to remember this thing. Okay. Now this is the work done by externally applied load. Now I will write the strain energy equation. This in short I have written work done equation. You transpose into F matrix. Okay, F matrix is your force matrix. Now total potential energy. Total potential energy is, you see this one, I is equal to half of U transpose K into U minus U transpose F minus U transpose F. Here I have written in short. Okay. Now this is your strain energy and this one is your work done. Okay, and actually I have defined potential energy by using plus sign, but because of the directions we have to take one term as a positive and other term as a negative. This term I have taken positive, this term I have taken negative. This is a strain energy I have taken positive, work done I have taken negative. Okay, next one. Now according to principle of minimum potential energy, when structure attains the equilibrium condition, then potential energy is minimum. Now here if you observe this equation, this potential energy is function of u, because this is a property matrix and this one is applied load. Okay, these are constant terms. Here u transpose is function I is function of u. Okay, so when we apply the principle of minimum potential energy, derivative of I with respect to this U matrix, it should be equal to 0. Okay. Now here from principle of minimum potential energy, di by dui equal to di by duj, this equal to 0. Ui and uj are the displacements, nodal displacements. Okay, that is means derivative of I with respect to this matrix, it is equal to 0. Now differentiating this with respect to first term in the matrix, differentiating this I with respect to second term in the matrix, and when we equate this with 0, we will get the finite element equation that I will show you. Now first I will differentiate this one. Now from where I have taken this equation? Can anyone tell? You see here, this equation is here. This equation UIFI, here I have taken capital. Okay, you can take capital or small. Okay, UIFI UJFJ. Okay, now this 11 equation. Now this one is UIFI UJFJ or FI FJUJ. You have to make some modification here. Here this should be either capital or small. Both terms are same. Now this equation is your strain energy equation. How it is strain energy equation? I will show you. You see this one. Strain energy equation. This one, equation number 9. Here when we expand this term, it becomes AE by 2L UI square minus 2UIUJ plus UJ square. Am I right? Do you agree with this? Now same equation I have taken here. Here you see here, it is half of this one, half of AE by L UI square minus 2UIUJ plus UJ square. Okay, and it's a derivative with respect to UI. Now dFi UI plus FJUJ divided by differentiating with respect to UI, that is dUI. Now what is the derivative of this one? When we differentiate this term with respect to UI, can anyone tell? I have already written here. What is derivative of this one? Here half A by L is constant term. Am I right? Half A by L is constant term. Derivative of ui square with respect to ui is 2ui. Am I right? And derivative of 2ui uj with respect to ui, it is 2uj. That means it becomes half A by L 2ui minus 2uj, and derivative of uj with respect to ui is 0. Okay. Next, minus derivative of this one fi ui with respect to ui is fi plus derivative of this term is 0. Now I will show you. Here this derivative is 0, this derivative is also 0 because we are differentiating with respect to ui. Derivative of this is 2ui, derivative of this is 2uj. Okay, and derivative of this is fi. Okay, now next I will get this one A by L ui. How I will get ui? Because here 2ui and this is 2uj, that 2 will be cancelled with these two. Okay, 2 will be cancelled with these two. You will get ui minus uj minus this fi. This equal to 0. Any doubt in this equation number 1? If you have doubt, you can ask me. You check it and you ask me. अमोल पाटील काय डाऊट आहे का? अमोल पाटील.
हॅलो सर. हा सर, अजून एकदा सांगा की सर.
Here it is simple derivative. It is simple derivative. It is
सर
simple.
सर
Yes.
ते डी dy ते सांगा की पहिल्यांदा. फ्रॉम प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ मिनिमम पोटेन्शियल एनर्जी ते कसं काय आलं ते सांगा.
What is principle of minimum potential energy? Potential energy is minimum when structure is in equilibrium. Am I right? Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
In calculus of the or in mathematics, if any function is minimum, it's a derivative with respect to variable on that function or variable affecting on that function is equal to 0. Am I right? म्हणजे तुमचं फंक्शन कुठलंही मिनिमम किंवा मॅक्झिमम कधी असते तर त्याची डेरिव्हेटिव्ह विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू व्हेरिएबल ऑन विच इट इज अफेक्टिंग. ओके, 0 असते. युअर potential energy is I. It is function of u displacement. Am I right? Potential energy is function of u. When this potential energy is minimum, when its derivative with respect to u is 0. कारण I काय आहे? I is function of u. I is function of u. And when it is minimum, when its derivative is 0. Okay. हे mathematics मध्ये झालंय ना तुम्हाला. If you have function, here I will draw here one function. If this is a function, when its value is minimum, if it is a f of x, function f of x, when it is minimum, when you have minimum value at this location, when tangent to this function is 0, means df by dx equal to 0. Okay, df by dx equal to 0. You agree with this? Means I is your fx or I is your function of u. When it is minimum, when its a derivative with respect to u is equal to 0. You agree with this? Therefore, I have differentiated this with respect to u, I and uj and equated with 0. Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Everyone. फंक्शन कधी मिनिमम असतं तर त्याची डेरिव्हेटिव्ह 0 असेल तरच ते फंक्शन मिनिमम असतं ना किंवा मॅक्झिमम असतं. ओके, दॅट कन्सेप्ट वी आर युजिंग हियर. नाउ नेक्स्ट वन. First I will differentiate this with respect to ui. Now same equation. This equation is this one, that is it is in expanded form, that is dui of half of ae by l ui square minus 2ui uj plus uj square. Now you see here, this term is constant term. This half ae by l, it is a constant term. This constant term I can take out of the derivative, out of the derivative. Now I am going to differentiate this one, differentiate this bracket with respect to ui, bracket with respect to ui. Now while differentiating this bracket with respect to ui, derivative of this ui square with respect to ui is 2ui. Okay, 2ui. Derivative of this 2ui uj with respect to ui, it is 2uj. Am I right? And derivative of this uj square with respect to ui, it is 0. Okay. Now what you will get here, it is 2ui minus 2uj. Okay. And 2 it is common term in both terms, that I can cancel with these two. Okay. Here you will get 2ui and here you will get minus 2uj, minus 2uj. Now this 2 will be cancelled with this 2, and this also will be cancelled with this 2. Okay. Now next term is dfi ui. Here derivative of this is fi only, and derivative of this is 0. Okay. Agree with this, and e by l is as it is, and you will get ui minus uj minus fi. Any doubt now? Any doubt now?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now,
Okay, sir.
now you tell me. Now we have differentiated with ui. Now I want to differentiate this same equation with uj, because we have to differentiate with each term. Na? Now I want to differentiate this with uj. What will be the derivative? uj. Yes.
हॅलो सर.
Ah, yes.
हॅलो
Ah,
सर, ते पोटेन्शियल एनर्जी इज इक्वल टू स्ट्रेन एनर्जी इनटू वर्क डन आहे ना.
strain energy plus work done आहे.
वरती टोटल एनर्जी मध्ये मायनस का घेतलंय तिथं?
मायनस दोन्हीची डायरेक्शन अपोजिट असल्यामुळे ते मायनस घेतलंय. स्ट्रेन एनर्जी इज बिकॉज ऑफ द इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स अँड वर्क पोटेन्शियल इज बिकॉज ऑफ द external applied force. Okay, and this is internal and this is external, that is direction of these two are different. Okay, that's why I have taken minus sign. म्हणजे एकमेकांच्या अपोजिट आहेत त्या. नेक्स्ट. येस, नेक्स्ट. क्लिअर झालं का? हॅव यू गॉट इट ऑर नॉट?
सर म्हणजे स्टार्टला स्टेप 3 चं इक्वेशन लिहून दिलं तेव्हा तिथे इंटू दिलं होतं तुम्ही, म्हणून म्हटलं.
नाही, इंटू नाही, पॉझिटिव्ह आहे रे, प्लस आहे. हे बघ ना, यू सी दिस युअर पोटेन्शियल एनर्जी इक्वेशन, स्ट्रेन एनर्जी प्लस वर्क डन. हॅव यू गॉट इट?
हॅलो सर.
हां, येस.
हॅलो.
हां, येस.
हा सर, फोर्सेसची डायरेक्शन तर सेम आहे ना पण?
फोर्सेसची डायरेक्शन सेम आहे. फोर्सेस मध्ये आता when we apply the force on any body, there will be resistance in the body. Am I right?
Yes sir.
And that resistance is opposite to the applied force. Do you agree with this?
Yes sir.
Now this first energy, it is developed because of the resistance in the body.
Okay sir.
And this work done, it is because of the applied load. Okay.
Okay sir.
And resistance and applied load both are in opposite direction.
Yes sir.
Okay, have you got now?
Okay sir. Yes sir.
Next one. Next, any question? Any more question? श्रेयस, लक्षात आलं काय?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Now we have differentiated this and we got first equation. Now you tell me the second equation. Now you differentiate with respect to uj, this term. You tell this equation, this term. We have calculated first term. Second term,
E by L uj minus ui minus fj.
Yes, AE by L Uj minus Ui minus Fj. Okay, now I will write this as second equation. You see here minus Uj I have written. Okay, this I have made mistake. Uj minus U minus plus, here it should be plus, na? Okay, you make it correct. Here it should be plus. Okay, Uj minus Ui minus Fj. Okay, minus Fj. Do you agree with this? Now, can you write these two equations in matrix form? Can you write these two equations in matrix form? This equation and this equation. Here, when I multiply by AE by L to this equation, what I will get? AE by L into Ui minus AE by L into Uj, okay, minus Fi, okay. Here what I will get? AE by L into Uj minus AE by L into Ui minus Fj. Do you agree with this? When I multiply by this A by L to this bracket, you will get one simultaneous equation. Now, this will result in second simultaneous equation, and that two simultaneous equations I can write in matrix form. How I can write this in matrix form, I will show you. You see this one. You see this. This is first equation. You see this first equation. Is it first equation? A by L into Ui minus Uj. Okay, that equal to the Fi. Is it correct? Second equation, AE by L into minus Ui plus Uj is equal to Fj. You check this equation. You see this equation. See this equation. AE by L Ui minus AE by L Uj minus Fi. AE by L Uj. Now just I will change the sequence. I will write minus Ui plus Uj. Minus Ui plus Uj. Okay. That will give minus AE by L Ui plus AE by L Uj minus Fj. Have you got this equation? Is it same to last equation? Here this is very important equation. AE by L into 1 minus 1 Ui Uj is equal to Fi Fj. Any doubt here? Is it clear? Now this is known as the finite element equation. This is known as the finite element equation, and in short, this is your k. Already I have shown you this term. It is your k. Okay, this is your k term. Okay, and this is your u term, and this equal to the f term. Okay, and in short, we can write this finite element equation as k into u is equal to f. K into u is equal to f. Any doubt here? Here this derivation may be very important. If you have doubt in this derivation, you can ask me. Can I go for next? Can I go for next?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is a finite element equation. Now we have derived the stiffness matrix. This is your stiffness matrix. First term is your stiffness matrix. This one. Second term is displacement matrix, and this term is force matrix. That is, stiffness into displacement matrix is equal to force matrix. This is a property matrix. This is your behavior matrix, and this is your action matrix. For these properties under this action, what is the behavior that we are going to calculate? That means where our aim is to find this matrix. Okay, and for finding this matrix, we are using Gauss elimination method, or any other methods. Okay. Now, next one. What is next step after getting the stiffness elemental stiffness matrix and load vectors? What is next step? What is next step? Next step is assembly of the finite element equations, solution of elemental stiffness matrix, and then calculation of the stresses and strains. Okay. Here we have taken the only one element. Therefore, I could not show assembly process. Assembly process. Now, in next, I will show you assembly process. What is assembly process? I will show you. Now you see here. Here I have taken stepped bar. Here I have taken stepped bar. Now this has properties A1, E1, L1. This has properties A2, E2, L2. Now how many elements are required for this? How many elements are required for this? Now we need one element for first part here. Okay. One element and one element for second part, because there is a sudden change in the geometry. When there is a sudden change in the geometry, you have to introduce the element. This is your element number 1, this is your element number 2, and this one is node number 1, this is node number 2, and this is node number 3. You see this node number 2 is shared by first and second element. Okay, first and second element. Now this is a discretization process. Discretization process. Next one. Now you see this one here, node number 1, node number 2, and node number 3, element number 1, element number 2. Okay, here U1 is the displacement of node number 1, U2 is the displacement of node number 2, and U3 is the displacement of node number 3. Here these are the forces acting at node number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now you write the stiffness matrix for first element and second element. What is stiffness matrix for first element? That is AE by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Here you have A1 E1 divided by L1 into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay. Now one thing I have told you, size of the stiffness matrix. Size of the stiffness matrix, it is equal to the total degrees of freedom. Total degrees of freedom. Now here total degrees of freedom are 3. How these total degrees of freedom are 3? Here node number 1 is going to displace with displacement U1. Node number 2 is displacing with displacement U2, and node number 3 is going to displace with displacement U3. Okay. So there are 3 degrees of freedom. There are 3 degrees of freedom. Okay. Therefore your assembled stiffness matrix is 3 by 3. But while writing that assembled stiffness matrix, you have to write the stiffness matrix for first element. It is 3 by 3. Now how we can write that, I will show you. You see this one. Now this is A1 E1 by L1. Now node number 3 is not connected to the element number 1. Node number 3 is not connected to the element number 1. Okay. That is, it is away from the element number 1. Element number 1 is connected with node number 1 and 2. So any force on the node number 3, it will not create the displacement of any node of the element number 1 when we consider the separate elements. Have you got it? When we consider these two elements are separate elements, then if I apply the force at node number 3, it will not displace the node number 1 and node number 2 of the element number 1. Okay. You see this one. See this one. If I consider this element like this, okay, and if I apply the force here, it will not create the displacement of this node and this node. Okay. Or therefore terms corresponding to this U3 or displacement of node number 3 are 0 in the stiffness matrix. Okay, you have to remember this. This is useful in while solving the problem. If when we write the stiffness matrix for element number 1, here terms corresponding to the node number 3 are 0. are 0. These terms are 0. Okay. We agree with this. Now what I will do, I will assume this A1 E1 by L1, A1 E1 by L1 equal to the K11, K11 or K we can say K11, K12, K21, K22, and I am using 1 dash here. This is the stiffness matrix for your element number 1. Here in every time not necessary to write this third column. You can write only 2 columns. Okay, but while assembling you have to consider that third column. Okay, now I will write the stiffness matrix for element number 2.
सर
Yes.
सर ते K12 ला आणि K21 ला मायनस साइन नाही का दिला?
I have just assumed these numbers. Just assumed it is K12 is equal to minus A1 E1 by L1. K21 is equal to minus A1 E1 by L1. Okay.
Okay.
Now next one. Next for element 2. Now what will be the element stiffness matrix for element number 2? Stiffness matrix for element number 2. Can anyone tell? Can anyone tell? Here you can see here. Yes. If you want to tell, you can tell.
Hello sir.
Yes.
Sir, A1 to E2 by L2 असणार आणि जे लोअर मॅट्रिक्स आहे ना ते 1 -1 असणार, वरचा हॉरिझॉन्टल आणि साइडचा 0 असणार. हॅलो.
Yes.
हॅलो.
Yes. For element number 2, you tell the stiffness matrix. Now it is K2, and see here node number 1 is not connected to the element number 2. Therefore, you have first row and first column is 0. First row and first column is 0 in your stiffness matrix of the second element. You can see here it is A2 E2 by L2 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 minus 1 minus 1. Sorry, here it is plus minus 1 1 and here it is minus. Okay, minus 1 1. I will write here K22 dash, K23 dash, K32, K33. Okay. Now this is a stiffness matrix for element number 2. Element number 2. You can see here. Here this is corresponding to the node number 1. This is corresponding to the node number 1. So this node number 1 is not connected to the element number 2. If I consider this separate element and if I apply the force on this node, it will not displace node connected to the element number 2. It may be node number 2 or it may be node number 3. Therefore, your first row in the stiffness matrix and first column in the stiffness matrix is 0. Okay, do you agree with this? These are the actual stiffness matrices in assembled position or in global stiffness matrix. After that, for finding the assembled stiffness matrix, you take the addition of these two. Addition of these two. Now, when we take the addition of these two, you will get this assembled stiffness matrix. You see this one, K1 plus K2, K1 plus K2, it is K11 dash, K12 dash, K21 dash, K22 dash, K22 double dash, it is corresponding to the element number 2, K23 double dash, K32 double dash, K here 33 double dash. Okay, and you will get this as a stiffness matrix. If you have problems here, this is required when we solve the problem. I will take the problems on this numerical, but you have to remember this assembly process. If you have doubt, you can ask me. Next one, displacement matrix. See here, if we go to here, U1, U1 for element number 1, U1 is a displacement at node number 1. node number 2 is shared by element number 1 and 2. Okay, therefore this displacement is also shared by element number 1 and 2. Okay, that means u2, it is a displacement of node 2. It will be result of forces on element number 1 and element number 2. So your displacement matrix is like this, that is u1 u2 dash, it is the displacement because of the force on element number 1. u2 double dash, it is the displacement of node number 2 because of the force on the element number 2, and this is u3, it is only connected to the element number 2, and u2 dash and u2 double dash, this is the sharing of the displacement at node number 2, and that is equal to the resultant displacement u2. Okay, now same thing for the force. Here F is equal to F1 is the force on node number 1, F2 dash, it is the force shared by element number 1, F2 double dash, it is the force shared by element number 2. Okay, and that is on the same location or at the same location. F3 is the force at node number 3, and addition of this will be the resultant force F1, F2 and F3. Now this is the assembly of the stiffness matrices, and displacement matrix and force matrix, and after that you write the K into U is equal to F, K into, this is your K matrix, it is your assembled stiffness matrix, K. Okay, now this is your U matrix and this is your F matrix. Okay, after that you write the K into U is equal to F, that is your overall equilibrium equation. Okay, overall equilibrium equation. If you have doubt in this assembly, you can ask me. Any doubt in this equation, equilibrium equation? Yes, I will wait for a few minutes. If you have doubt, you can ask me. Yes, Pranjal, if you have doubt, you can ask me.
No, sir. Yes. No, sir.
Patil, Pratik Patil. Shreyas,
No doubt, sir. No doubt.
Rishikesh Kumbar. If you have doubt, you can ask me. Rishikesh Kumbar is, whether he is here or not. Okay, he is absent, I think. Okay, I will go to the next. Now, after that, you write the finite element equation and solve for displacements. Okay, after application of the boundary conditions. Next, there are certain properties you can observe, the properties for stiffness matrix, and this is the check for your calculation. Now what are that properties? You observe, if you observe this stiffness matrix, it is always square matrix. Means here I have taken the stepped bar with 2 elements and 3 nodes. Okay, bear with this, and each node is having 1 degree of freedom. Therefore, total degrees of freedom here are 3. So your stiffness matrix is 3 by 3, and size of stiffness matrix is equal to the total degrees of freedom. You can see here, size of stiffness matrix, it is equal to the 3 by 3, or it is equal to the total degrees of freedom. If you have 4 nodes, and each node has 1 degree of freedom, then total degrees of freedom is 4. So you will get the 4 by 4 stiffness matrix. Next one, if you have 2 degrees of freedom per node, means if node number 1 is going to displace in this direction and this direction, then if number of nodes are 3, then your stiffness matrix is 6 by 6, because each node has 2 degrees of freedom and total degrees of freedom are 6. Okay, here you have to remember this. It is a square matrix, and size of that square matrix, it should be equal to the total degrees of freedom. It should be equal to the total degrees of freedom. Okay, each element of the stiffness matrix is associated with its degree of freedom, that is force required for unit displacement. You can see here K11 is equal to A1 E1 divided by L1, that is also force required for unit displacement. This one is also force required for unit displacement. This one is also force required for unit displacement. This is also force required for unit displacement. Okay, this is also force required for unit displacement. Every term is correspond to the force required for unit displacement. Okay, next one, again one more thing, you can observe this stiffness matrix. Here this is plus term, this is minus term, and this term it is equal to this term. Okay, this term it is equal to this term. Okay, now means your matrix or global stiffness matrix or stiffness matrix is symmetric matrix, and what it is indicating, it is displacement is directly proportional to the applied load. Okay, that's why you will get the symmetric matrix. Okay, now element Kij are 0 if no element is attached to the node I or j, means K11 is equal to 0, if that node is not attached to the element number 2. Here K13 is 0, why? Because third node is not connected to the element number 1. Okay, next one, unsupported matrix is singular. Unsupported matrix is singular means what? Here, if you have not fixed the, or if you have not applied any support to the structure, you will not get the solution. Okay, means if you write this K matrix, okay, and into U matrix, that is your displacement matrix, this is equal to the F matrix, and if this is your unsupported structure means the structure like this. Okay, structure like this, and you have not applied any support, you have applied the forces here, just the forces here. Okay, then it will move in the direction of force, you will not get any constant value for this U. This system of equations cannot be solved. Why? Because your matrix is singular, K matrix is singular, and when we apply the support here, then you can get the solution. Here in finite element analysis problems, support is must. You cannot solve this equation without the supports. It will be like a rigid body motion, it will move in the direction of force. Okay, so you will not get the solution to that type of problems. So I have written here unsupported matrix is singular. Now each column of the stiffness matrix is equilibrium state of the forces, required for unit displacement. Equilibrium state of the forces means what? Their addition of forces is 0. Okay, now if you go back and if you see this one here, this term is AE by L, this term is also AE by L, both terms are AE by L. Okay, now this is positive and this is negative. What is the addition of the this column? It is 0. So what we can say, each column of equilibrium set of forces required for unit displacement, okay, means addition of columns is 0 in stiffness matrix. You have to remember this, addition of columns is 0 in stiffness matrix. Okay, diagonal elements are positive and non-zero. Always, see here, always diagonal elements are positive and non-zero. Okay. Now here these are the some properties of the stiffness matrix, and you have to remember this. If in calculation, if your stiffness matrix is not satisfying these properties, that means you have made some mistake in calculation. Okay. Here after calculation, what you have to check? You check the addition of the columns. Addition of the columns. If it is 0, then that stiffness matrix or that calculation is okay. If it is not 0, that calculation is wrong calculation. You revisit to the calculation. Okay. Or any doubt here? If you have doubt in the properties, then you can ask me. Any doubt? सर्वेश, सर्वेश काय डाउट आहे का? If you have doubt,